Hi all, can you all hear me? Raghu speaking this side.
Yes, I can hear you, but who is the trainer? Do we know?
Yeah, Raghu
Yeah,
this
I
side.
hear
I
you.
am the trainer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. So we will
Actually,
just.
screen is hidden there. Webcam are hidden.
I'm sorry.
Webcam are hidden. Webcam.
Okay, it's okay, no problem. If you are not able to share your video, that
Okay.
should be fine. Until unless you are able to unmute yourself and mute yourself, that should be great. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay. Okay.
I just want to give a confirmation from my coordination team if I can start or if you are waiting for any other participants. If not, I think I will start.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, just a minute. I think I'll just take a confirmation and I will start sharing my screen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. 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 No problem.
Okay. Okay, so I receive a confirmation that we can start the session. So very good morning, good evening, people from different places who have joined for today's session. I believe my voice is clear and audible before I continue. Can someone confirm?
Yeah, it's clear.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Great. So this session is recorded for our internal purposes. So you will also see the screen, which will show us how the whole session has been tailored for you, and also we'll further brief about how we have planned our sessions. So let me share my screen. You can use the options here. Raise your hand when we are going to ask the question, and of course you can give a thumbs up wherein you can say that you are going to agree with my points, let's say. So let's make it interactive. So you can of course unmute yourself and you can raise your questions at any point of time. But also for the other opinions, it would be great if you can also use your quick reaction options which are available for you for the every questions whatever we raise. Okay, so that is what we would expect, so that it becomes more interactive by its nature. Okay, so let me share my screen and let me start with my introduction and then I will take the introductions of others. Just a moment. You should be now be able to see a notepad. Do you all see my screen? Hello?
Yes, you can see the screen. Yes.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'll go with my introduction first, and then we'll take the others introductions, and then we will continue with the overall sessions how we have planned for you people, how we have tailored for you. So my name is Raghu Kumar, and I have been with SAP for more than 17 years now. I have been part of older SAP APO implementations for advanced planning and optimization for demand planning, supply network planning, global availability to promise, and production planning and data scheduling (PPDS). And also now currently taking responsibilities for different industries. Uh, I'm working for SAP S4 HANA Advanced Planning and SAP IBP spaces, where I'm more contributing for the order-based planning of SAP IBP. So that's the quick background of mine. And to know the industries in which I have worked, so I have worked for chemicals, life sciences, automobiles, fabrication, natural resources, mill industry, and mining. These are the industries in which I have worked people. So my examples would also revolve in these industries. So yeah, feel free to ask a few questions whenever we go further to the deep diving of the sessions, which we will also get it while we are going to the detailed understanding of how our sessions have been classified into. And yes, we will take it further from the introductions of other participants who are there. So in the introduction, I would request people you can brief me about your little experience, like maybe you are with a production planning background or maybe you are from SD and so on, and also some your experience. That's it. So this is what the expectation would be, and what are your aspirations to join this session. So these are the two things what I would expect in the introduction of yourself. Yeah, so let me, yeah, go with the first one. Amit Kumar Karmate. Yeah, Can you please unmute yourself and introduce yourself, Amit? Okay. Can we go with Babu? Babu, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Oh,
About myself, I am having a total 15 years of experience in SAP world, but 8 years I worked into a domain as a SAP power user and the production planner, the way of different roles in a business. And near to 7 years now, I am in consulting, and I have a experience in the area of the PP and QM modules. So
great.
I worked into different domains, agriculture, automobiles, and semiconductor industries. Raghu,
Perfect. Thank you, Babu, for your introduction.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have Prashant with us.
Yeah, Raghu. This is Prashant, and I have little over 18 years of SAP experience. My experience is in production planning and yeah, also in material management and quality management. And I do have a similar experience like in automobile and consumer goods and also bio life sciences. Yeah, my main focus is to get to understand the embedded PPDS so that I can support my existing current client with the
Great,
PPDS.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Karthik with us. Hi, Karthik.
Yeah, hello, Raghu. Hi. I hold around total around 9 years of experience in SAP. So started working as a BW consultant. Then, since past 7 years, was working on APO. So in APO, it was very limited. Was working more with the demand and supply, so I didn't got much chance to work on PPDS. So most of the time, I was working more for the chemical industry itself.
Mm,
And so just like for looking, so just trying to enhance my skills towards
great,
PPDS as we have an ongoing project of S4 HANA. So
great. Thanks, Karthik. Yeah.
yeah.
Then we have Sharath with us.
Yeah, hi, this is Sharat Chandra. I've been working in APO from like past 10 to 15 years, and then also worked on APO PPDS. So I'm interested now to know what is in for in S4 embedded PPDS, and yeah, how it's different in SIF,
Great.
and what are the challenges in ePPDS. That's what I wanted to know because I've not worked in I worked on the S4 transformation
Understood.
project, but not in ePPDS in particular. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Sharath. Thank you. Then we have Hari with us.
Hi, myself is Hari, and I had a total of 5 years of experience into DP and GAP. Now I would like to upgrade my skills to get into the sporting activity.
Great. Thanks, Hari. Then we have Funny with us.
Hi, this is Rani. I have 8+ years of experience in SAP PP. Presently, I was doing like production execution project with S4 HANA. I want to explore through how the planning will happen
Great.
with PPDS and yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks, Funny. Then we have Saish.
Hi guys, um, I'm new to PPDS. I like to focus only on the embedded PPDS and the hands-on experience.
Thanks, Saish. And I think what we Shashikant Pawar.
Yes, hello everyone. Myself Shashikant Pawar. Uh, I have experience of 4 year of experience in SAP PP and QM both, and I work on steel and textile industry as well as automobile industry. So currently I work in PP. So I need to means how the planning will happen in PPDs. So that's why.
Okay. Thanks, Shashikant. Thank you all. I believe I have not missed
Thank
anyone. Super. So let me reshare my screen. So let me brief now how our whole sessions are classified into, and then let's further evaluate how or what are the different factors that makes us the clients to realize on advanced planning, or we also refer it as EPPDS. So whether it's S4HANA advanced planning or whether you say it as embedded EPPDS, or else it is the same people. So it's different coins what you see for different clients who come from Europe or from US. So they use this different terminologies, but they still remain the same, right? So we will start our discussions with gap analysis sessions, then followed by the training content, followed by the user stories. Let's understand about each of this aspect, starting with gap analysis sessions. So we will realize the essential prerequisites which are needed for us before we start with the actual training content topic. So whether we speak about an architecture.
Raghu,
Yeah.
Raghu, this is Prashant. Before we get into the details of the training, I just have a couple of quick questions. So, are we going to focus on embedded PPDS or APO PPDS, or what is the this training session is going to be like?
Embedded
Because
PPDS.
definitely I am here to focus on embedded PPDS.
It is indeed. It is indeed for embedded PPDS only, not APO PPDS. No.
Okay. Okay.
But
so
but there is
yeah.
one pointer what I would still want to give to others who are maybe who are not aware of APO PPDS. So just for some awareness, right? So like what I would say is what I strongly believe is, Prashant, like if you are not aware of old, you cannot appreciate new, isn't it? So
Yeah.
when you how it used to be earlier in the APO world earlier and how it is now EPPDS, how it is advanced. So when we want to realize that the advanced features of it, so of course we should also know about few challenges or few impediments what planners they used to face in APO world. That will be discussion points, no doubt. But the focus will be, or the sessions or the overall system which will be provided is all completely with EPPDS, embedded PPDS, not APO PPDS, please. It's a very
So we are
important
not
point.
going to spend. So we are not going to spend much time on DP, SNP areas. Only we are going to straight jump into. I mean, with some background, we will jump into
That's it.
PPDS
Yes. Correct.
discussions.
Correct.
And and will there be any when you said maybe in the user stories or maybe in the training content, will there be any like whatever configuration or whatever behind the scenes, whatever we need to do, will that be
Yes.
covered in these?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll brief them.
That's all.
And I'm think maybe there's a few I would say budding questions in all of your thoughts. I can understand. So once we go through
Okay.
these three aspects, I believe all these questions will be cleared by themselves. Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So yeah, let's start with again the gap analysis session as I was discussing. So all the prerequisites which are essentially needed for us. We speak about architecture. We speak about why a specific methodology to be we should consider, and all the different things will be discussed under this gap analysis sessions, right? Followed by the training content. I believe my coordination team has already provided you all people with a Word document or maybe a PDF, which will brief you about what are the different topics which will be the part of our discussion. So that's the training contents for you. So what is the takeaway? The gap analysis discussions, these are more interactive by their nature, which also gives you an opportunity to speak about your experiences, which also for others, it will be an experience to learn about their other people's experiences, what are the different challenges they have gone through. And this is the place where you will see our what are the different methodologies what we have, how are we going to use them, how is the overall advanced techniques we are going to use, that will be realized by us using this training content section. In this, yes, you will see what are the essential configurations we need to do, what are the significance of each of the configuration, how do they make an impact in the overall process of behavior of a system is all what we are going to realize in the training content. Now comes the another important aspect, that is user story. So what we also additionally bring to the table is about so with all our experiences, brewed into the different problems what different planners they will be undergoing. So what we did is this user stories which will brief you about the problem statement and how advanced planning is going to help you with the different tools and techniques which are available, how it is going to help you to manage those user problems. So when I say about the users, so which type of users we could go through, what are the different role plays you people are going to play while you are going to understand the different methodologies. So that is also something what we have also bring to the table with the different types of users who are there. We'll try to understand more about them in upcoming slides which we'll understand. So this is the way how the sessions have been classified majorly into, but what is a user story, how it will make a significance in understanding a problem statement, and how the different methodologies or the tools and techniques what advanced planning has, how are they going to be used, is what a user story altogether clubbed into. So this will give you a clear understanding of how a planner will start using, implementing, and also getting adopting the advanced planning as a tool, and also the different features of it. Okay, any questions to me on this three aspects, people? I believe your eyes are not getting strained with the font. Is that okay? Want me to little zoom in? How about now? Is that okay now, people?
Yeah, it's good, Raghu. And quick question. Um, Today being the demo session, right? I know it'll be too much if we do all in one day, but is there a way you can show at a high level in the system so we gain confidence that this is how it'll be, the training will be more hands-on?
You mean how the system looks like? Is that what the question is? I'm just
Yeah,
asking.
system, like how a working system would be like, you'll spend like 10-15 minutes running the planning run
Yeah.
and at a high
Okay.
level, like,
Okay. So our sessions are not going to be theoretical, firstly, people. So we will take, of course, there is a theory, there would be a theory, no doubt, but we will be spending most of our time in the system. So you would see some brief background of it on the system. Let's say, for example, material master. Let's say. So what are the significant things which I should grab in the material master point of view? Some background of it, and then we will jump to the system. What are the configurations we need to do? What are the things we need to be aware when we are working in the advanced planning? So those are things the way how we will go. So it has both the system, but also some theory. So both of them are still there. Uh, dear.
So that's really nice, Raghu.
Yeah.
So some things like, what we expect from you is more like, for example, right, we have MRP live. So sometimes the clients, you have the PD, and sometimes you have the Excel at a finished level, right, where you want to schedule, for example, right? So we need some guidance, like, a solid answer, something like, hey, don't use MRP live, it's not stable. Don't just use the classic MRP for embedded PPDS. Those are the directions, because we
Right.
don't know, right, as
Right.
students. And we'll go and hit, some of us are joining because the client already started some project where we are getting exposed to PPDS, right? So when we advise the client,
Can you call
we'll
out
be
your name?
lost.
I don't know.
Saish.
Sai.
Saish.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a very
Saish.
good point what you have brought up, Saish. And of course, that's the next point what I have already added here, the tailored sessions. So what it means by tailored sessions is, so this is also a very good learning for others, like what Saish has mentioned. People like maybe there are few upcoming questions what a client would ask, and how does it make sense to others? So others, right? Or what is the significance of that? The business case it could be, or it could be some important discussions what you have realized. So when you bring it, of course, we all of you, I believe you all will bring that hygiene of not sharing your client details and all. That is something what you should essentially be aware of, but at the same time, making it more generalized is something what we should be able to achieve. So yes, Saish, so in those type of discussions, they are part of our tailored sessions where we'll ensure that we will understand how this makes a significant. So sometimes it's not a straightforward yes or no answer. You all know, you are all consultants. So but sometimes it is more about how this business case is matched or mapped in general different uh, industries and all. So that's what we will be discussing further, more furnished and more with a detailed understanding. So that is still part of our discussion, Sai. Sure, but I have mentioned it as an additional point, that is tailored sessions, which is specific to a specific client, what my aspirants they are going through, or what are the different discussions they are actively participating in, and how we can, get it endorsed within our discussions, and then you can project yourself in the very actively in your client engagements, I would say. Right, Saish?
I'll keep my question. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'll keep my questions to the end of the call. But
Sure.
one quick one, Raghu, is in the last project that you have done, right, in your professional career, are you using MRP Live? Or are you using classic MRP for PPDS planning?
MRP Live.
Okay, thank you. I'll keep my questions hold to the end of the session, so I'm not interrupting you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Great. And I now
Raghu,
want
funny.
to take a confirmation if you are able to see a PPT.
Raghu, funny here. I have one doubt. Like,
Continue.
are you going to explain like if there is like IBP, the new thing came up is the IBP, right?
Yes.
So does that integration also like at a basic level?
Yeah,
Can we
that's the
expect
part
from
of
you
our.
or like what?
Yeah, that's the part
Yeah.
of our gap analysis discussions. We will realize what are the new offerings,
Okay.
how the new offerings they are connected. Basic understanding is of course the part of our gap analysis sessions. Funny. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. One more doubt. Yeah, as we are into training it SVP, so
Mm-hmm.
generally what will happen when they give the servers? There are some features which we cannot access through the servers. Is it done like some functionalities of BAPIs which we need to activate it, right?
It is
So will it
indeed
be also provided?
that,
Yeah.
so you all should agree.
It's
So
like
still at the end
start.
of the day, it's a demo system. It's not. Uh,
Yeah.
so it is there. It's an accepted risk. Everyone knows it, that it's not
Okay.
as same as the licensed one. So it's an understood and known
Okay.
truth. Yeah, that is there.
Okay.
No doubt. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was just
perfect.
asking like as a
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just thank you.
That's something also a very good point. What you bought is of course that is something you can expect people. So end of the day you say, Raghu, yeah, this is a demo system, Raghu. End of the day, so that's there. So of course you would see that there will be a difference with a licensed and a demo system. Nowhere, no, it would be having a difference. That's true. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so let us firstly do a quick introspection, people, on what are the different current supply chain situations, like what are the different challenges, what we all know. Of course you are coming with a production planning background, you all say that yes, Raghu, we will agree with you, right? Like the warehouse management is essentially needed for me. You need to have a very good customer, I would say customer engagement, or you want to ensure that reduce their lead times for your customers. So the first diagram, of course, it is telling that your warehouse is managed with the right level of inventory. That's what the intention is. Of course, that is essentially what you want to do when you say that I want to do my planning, right? And then at the same time, ensuring that your lead times or the customers are not waiting for your orders to be fulfilled. That's also something very essential. And also ensuring that all your work centers or all your machines on the shop floor they have been effectively utilized and efficiently managed is also something what you would say that okay, as a planning they should be doable. And also how about you see that there is neither a, a huge material over shortage or maybe material overproduction is also something what you want to make the systems to be reliable. So now how advanced planning is going to help us, what are the different features we have, and how it is going to make it a little more better in the context of planning, and more further details we will discuss and understand people as we further progress with our discussions. Okay, so you all say also that okay, when I go with a sales guy, a sales guys would every time say that Raghu, I need as much as inventory as possible because I want to reduce the lead times. Whereas the other way, I mean, this is another planner who is involved, like say warehouse manager, who wants to minimize the inventory. So you say that these two people who are existing in the same supply chain, but they have an opinion of how the inventory should be managed is different. You all agree with me, people? Every time when you go and speak to a sales representative, he would say, Raghu, for me it's very important that I have to manage my sales orders, or I have to manage my overall demand as fast as possible. In that case, it's okay for us to go for little excess inventory because I'm expecting some growth here. I'm expecting some new sales here, right? This is what a motto would be for a sales guy. But when you go to a warehouse manager, he says, this is an excess inventory, Raghu, which is existing. And I don't think we should go for an extra, a few more bits of extra pieces for this production and so on. So he wants to minimize. Do you all see this is a repulsion between the way how each planners they would think, right? So there is a need for us to understand and to get evaluation of the both our opinions. What is the general process they are following? What are the new advanced features we have? That all we will further discuss, right? So any questions? I can continue to the next slide. So procedures generally followed in production planning: sales and operations planning S&OP, master production schedule MPS, capacity leveling, and material requirement planning. Now let us come to a point and let us take a concurrence, and I want to say it as a yes or no from all of you, right? I say production planning is of course a robust tool which is already available for us in S4 HANA. So there should be some important aspect what advanced planning can do, right? That makes advanced planning to be considered in the overall landscape by the clients, right? So let us go with this quick introspection question for us. Why EPPDS or advanced planning? I just want to know what are your thoughts, what are something what you are already aware of. Just feel free to give your opinions, give your thoughts, people. So why EPPDS for a client? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely PPDS, meaning we are looking at detail scheduling and detail planning up to the minute, taking the capacities into account and of the production line. And also because of the right now we have a better planning engine behind the with S4 HANA. That's going to give us better. It takes less time to plan, and also it will allow us to plan multiple plans at the same time.
Yeah, additional intelligence in the form of heuristics and optimization.
Perfect. Super.
Optimized planning, optimization, campaign planning, and block planning.
Okay.
More flexibility to the user to make planning more optimized, like the use of the planning board.
Perfect. Very good. Any other?
So that brings me, Raghu, one more question.
Yeah, we will take the questions. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll take this introspection first, and then of course I will take the questions.
Yeah. So is Fiori you consider as a EPPDS? Your scheduling happening in Fiori or still the old board?
Fiori apps, of course we have. I should be transparent here. We have only 2 Fiori apps currently.
Yeah.
So I would not say it's a big major win why a client would really look forward at least at this stage. But as a roadmap, we see they are planning to bring a few more Fiori apps. But at this stage, it is only new Fiori apps point of view only 2. But still you can use the other transactions or interactive planning tools, which we say it as GUI calls, GUI to HTML. We'll understand more about it, but that's a good pointer what you brought. But I will not say this is the raising factor that makes the client to decide, yes, I want to go for EPPDS because of the Fiori apps. No, I'll not say that. But yeah, of course, it's still something what we can consider for why EPPDS is something different, right? In that context, we
Yeah,
are bringing it. But yeah, that's a good
yeah.
point. Perfect. Very good.
And the reason I brought that up is clients are saying that old, even though it has a lot of usage, the planning board, client is like, man, I cannot see this. It doesn't look good because they're
Correct.
used to Fiori screens, and
Correct.
now it's looking like a old.
Yeah. So they have there is a I would say advancement in this in a
Mhm.
theory point of view, the way of how we are going to get it switch, how easier it is now. It's all simplified now. We speak about it, but yeah, that's a still not a very significant reason why should I go for EPPDS because of areas. I will not say it as a significant one, but yeah, it's still
Yeah.
a difference what we have on the table for sure. Okay,
Got it.
perfect. And I think lot of the points which I thought to bring it up have been already bought. But there's one important reason that makes advanced planning so special is, and all with PP background, you all should agree with me, or you can bias also with me. So I say in a normal production planning, material planning and capacity planning. These are two different steps in production planning. Do you all agree with me, people? Yes?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Agreed.
Yeah. But when we come to advanced planning, we can do it simultaneously. So that's something a very important change or $1 billion answer. You say why you want to go for EPPDS? You can say, hey Raghu, the material planning and capacity planning, we can do this simultaneously, parallelly. So that's what a very important advantage what EPPDS can get for us when we compare it with production planning. So that's another important reason why they want to go for EPPDS. Okay.
So to understand a little bit better, so when you say when comparing with production planning, you are saying the MRP run with the detailed scheduling uh, against the PPDS production planning, right?
Yeah. So I will not go to the extent of interactive planning tools there to the comfort of audience, no doubt. But yeah, I would say that when you make a plan, system is not only considering the material and its availability into consideration, but also the capacity into consideration, right? This is what I want to say in short, right? So I do my plan by considering both material and capacity planning together.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay, so let's go back. So material requirement planning is a perfect, it's a wonderful tool, no doubt. So we still have some other techniques also, which are non-compromised techniques, people. But still, we all agree that there's a very, famous saying, right? Like one size doesn't fit for all. So there should be some other reasons that makes advanced planning as considerable for materials. So what are the different factors they do? What are the different factors on which they generally do? All those we will discuss later. Okay. So demand chains and value chains. So if you take the overall the supply chain process point of view, how comfortable are you people with the terms like say upstream and downstream? Someone can unmute yourself and you can say, hey, this is what it means by upstream, Raghu, and this is what it means by downstream. Anyone?
It's the resources, upstream resource, downstream resource during planning, right?
Any other?
Upstream is more towards like how the demand is accumulated, and downstream is how we are supplying those demands.
Yeah, very good, very good. So I'm just bringing a few important players, which we could, of course, it could be a complex one also, but I'm bringing an in general. But the number of players it could differ depending on the type of client I'm working with and what type of products they handle. So for example, I have suppliers, vendors, manufacturers, then I have distributors, then I have retailers, and then I have, let's say, end customers. Okay, so if in these are the different players who are involved. Of course, as I mentioned, the number of players they can change, they can increase or they can also decrease. If you say it's a e-commerce side business, so manufacturers can directly send it, the pump their materials to end customers, but depending on the type of industry it is, and also it would differ also people. So now here people, so there are different types of flows which are available. Like for example, information flow, material flow, and financial transactions flow. Now we are focused more on information flow. So whenever you are saying flow, it also comes with a direction, right, people? Now here I'm just taking this help of this drawing. Hope you are all able to see my screen, and you're also able to see the way how I'm drawing the arrow. This way or in this direction, right, which I'm drawing now. This is what an example for us would be for a downstream, right, people? And the other way around is an example for upstream. Now, yeah, this way. So this is our upstream, and this one is the downstream. Now, can someone tell me an example for downstream? Material flow. Is it an example for downstream or upstream? People, material actual manufacturing, what happens, right? Is it an example for downstream or upstream?
The downstream.
Downstream. Perfect. It is downstream because first I get it from vendors and manufacturers and then so on. So it's a downstream. Can someone give me an example for upstream, people?
Demand.
Demand. Very good. Perfect. Yes, indeed. Yes, it is. The demand is an example for upstream. Now, what you realize is as number of players who are involved, and also you also will you will agree with me, like information flow is very essential for us. So what every change what happened, maybe a change in the demand you say, or maybe a change in your supply situation you say, so how it will impact my overall plan and how do I analyze it is also an important aspect that should be capturable. So I'll go back to the number of different points what we were discussing, people, like what could be the reasons that makes advanced planning to be considerable. So we have to add another additional thing is what if analysis. So and very important feature of advanced planning of having a what if analysis. So I want to realize how the different players who are involved, what are the different types of demand elements I get, what are the different supply elements I get, and how it is going to impact my overall plan to do a what if analysis. Advanced planning has a lot of features which we will use and we will realize how it could be made the overall plan more reliable. So so also reliable MADs is something what which is a feature of PPDS, but there is an so I will of course not make it as a marker here as reliable MADs because there is a need of advanced another methodology or another module of advanced planning, that is advanced ATP is still needed for us to make this pointer as reliable MADs is still something which also brings ePPDS to be considerable. There's a reason why I'm not adding up here because there is an we should also know about how the older APO structure it was earlier and how it is now currently stated For that purpose only, I'm not mentioning it here. But with in the future versions of advanced planning, even a reliable MAD. Can anyone guess what could an MAD stands for?
Material availability date.
Perfect. Material availability date. So to support reliable MADs, and if the client has a vision to ensure that the reliable MADs is a KPI for them, so they would go and invest to bring advanced planning or EPPDS into their landscape. Perfect. So and also the another reason why clients they are going forward to use advanced planning is because of the changes in the different ways of making process point of view. So we will say the customer centric market management. Okay. So what is this customer centric market? It generally means, Raghu, and what is the important lesson for us to we should know? So people, you all would say that Raghu, if 15 years back, if we think about a mobile phone, so hardly we have an options about maybe a color or maybe the size of the you say the display, and let us say something like that. But there were no huge options or windows for me to evaluate. But now today, if we can just come today for the point of today's world, you say there are a lot of options which are available. So they are more customer centric. That means they are more derived with according to the customer needs people. So they are making it customized according to the customer needs. It was not the same case. So you say like we have at a very major classification, right? Like for example, we say there are major classification of materials like say functional and innovative. So what is functional material? A material which has not changed the way of its procurement, production, usage over a specific period of time, at a specific period of time. So we say it as functional material. A material, the way how it was used, produced, procured has not changed, right? Not changed over a period of time. Say, for example, a hammer, what we use at our home, people. Hammer, which we use to fix a nail, right? So, do you all agree that it would has been the same way, the way how we have seen in our childhoods, and the purpose is still same, luckily, right? Now we are not, we are still using it to fix a nail, people. So, and I see that it's a functional material. Can someone give me an example for innovative people? Can I say a mobile phone as innovative? Hello? You are all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And do you all agree that yes, a mobile phone could be
Yes.
considered as innovative, right? Now you will
Yeah.
also agree with me that you cannot have a same level of planning for both of these materials, Raghu. So functional material could require a different expectations when I have with an innovative material. Yes, that is indeed true. So what are the different value chains they have to undergo? What are the different activities they have to perform in order to benefit the customer? So there are a lot of changes, what the demand chains they are going through, what the value chains they are going through. All of this management point of view, it is essential for us to you know s- uh, to ensure that we are bringing the advanced planning and features into the place. So how are they going to support us? We will realize. So have you anyone of you heard about SCORE model? So of course it stands for supply chain operations and reference model. And what it generally says is that we need to, whenever we see any supply chain process following client, whether you say Amazon, whether you say Dell, whether you say HP, whether you say Nike or FedEx. Now, what are the different client names which I took? which doesn't require an introduction about those clients. So they have a different types of services what they provide to the customers. The way they work is different, and they are market leaders because of specific unique feature what they hold. And but if you still, what is something same in those all clients, Raghu? If you ask me, they all follow SCOR model. They all what are the different processes? These all clients which I mentioned just now, they their processes can be classified into plan, make, source, deliver, returns, and enablement. Now, when we have this different processes within this supply chain reference model, so plan gets the highest significance people, because a plan can make your make process more better, your source may be better, and deliver as more better, and returns and enablement. And in order to support your more planning effectiveness, SAP S/4HANA advanced planning is something what we will be using, and how it is going to help us, and how are we going to see the different what if analysis features of it that makes the planner more confident about their choices. We'll also realize that in the system. Okay, once we further deep dive into the sessions. Now, and also, as I was mentioning that in the user stories, you would seeing the different types of planners who are involved, and what type of different problems they have, and how in the context of advanced planning, how are we going to manage this. So as I mentioned that you will see there is a scope of configuration which is needed. There are certain master data what we need to go through. There are system essential navigations which we should go through. So they are all sequenced, and they are being considered in our training content. This all will be discussed as we progress with our sessions people. So this is the way how our sessions they have tailored for you people. And yeah, we will take the questions if any. You are all able to hear me, right?
No
Yeah,
questions from my side.
But I see there is some raised hand by Prashant. Hi, Prashant.
No, that was at the beginning of the class. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, okay, great, perfect, perfect.
Raghu, funny here.
Yes, funny, please.
Yeah. Like, how long the sessions will be? Like, by how many days it will be completing out? And what would be the timing?
Yeah.
Like, and how soon? Like, how much
It's
time
gonna start.
will
How
have
soon
that?
it is gonna start?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a
Because
voice
I have
from
other
multiple
plans
others.
also.
Yeah, sure, sure. So
Sorry for.
no. That's still a valid question for all, I believe. Yeah, thanks, funny. Yeah. So firstly, the session duration will be for 30 to 35 hours. It's not a fixed number, people, because with each our batch and different aspirants who join, there is a differences in the way how we go to the details of each topic sometimes. So it's not a fixed number, but 30 to 35 hours is an approximate number, but you have to bear with me. So if it exceeds, yeah, that you should still bear with me. But yeah, this is what the number of hours what we have for this session. And the sessions will be on weekends only, yeah, Saturday and Sunday, and it would be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. I repeat, of course, there are people from different time zones, so it will be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. And at what is it? As how early are we going to start? So my coordination team will be able to tell you the exact starting dates and times. So I think they should be able to communicate to you people. Yeah, they are the best people to let you know. I think that's
Okay,
gonna.
and the
Thanks, Raghu.
next question I had was, I think a coordination team mentioned that they will provide recordings or videos and the
Yes,
material.
yes.
So these videos and materials, I mean, I had an experience previously with HANA training.
Mm-hmm.
They said they will provide videos, and they provided videos, but they expired after a couple of months, 2 months or 3 months. So is this going to be the same situation with the videos that you guys are providing?
The coordination team should be able to give you the right
Okay, okay.
details of it. Yeah.
Because the reason I'm mentioning this is I know that you will be covering all the topics in these 35 hours, but we
Mhm.
won't be able to use that everything that you explain in the class right away, and we won't be able to get to practice right away. So you can.
I think,
So
yeah, they should
after
be able
1 year,
to.
I know. Let's say, for example, you explain block planning, and
Mhm.
then after 1 year, I need to understand what I learned for block planning, and I need to have some reference to go back and
Yeah.
see, okay, this is how we need to do the block planning and all those
Sure,
things.
sure,
That's the
Prashant. I think
reason we.
that's still a good question, no doubt. I think you can get this
Yeah, I will check with them.
answered by the
Yeah.
coordination team. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Did I miss anyone? I think there was someone who joined later. I think it was Amit. Hi, Amit. Okay. So this session is also recorded. If you did had a
Yeah.
chance to join a little late, no problem.
Uh,
Our coordination team will be able to help you. No problem.
Raghu, one quick question. So I just want to know because I had earlier, like I've been working on APO, so but I
Mhm.
didn't work on PPDS. So I just want to know whether the ePPDS is a lift and shift of the existing PPDS, or
There is
is
a
it
difference.
really
It's not complete different shift, but there is still difference. But of course, you will see what are the features of APO PPDS. They are intact. They are all there, no doubt.
okay?
They are,
So though we are learning ePPDS, then we will be able to even work on the PPDS, right?
Yeah. So the other way around, that's true. So if you are learning ePPDS, can I still use this knowledge in APO PPDS? The answer is yes, people.
Okay,
So
thank you.
okay. So I
Raghu,
believe.
one more question. Raghu,
Please.
like funny here. So till now I was working in a production part. So like I have come across like PPEWM. So do we have PPDS EWM also something integrations till now? Like I do not have experience on PPDS, so that's like it might be a blind question. Like, do we have any
EWM.
integration with the EWM? Yeah, EWM or like something like that. Yeah, at the advanced because it is embedded, right?
They have
So
something called something very new is happening, funny that of course it's not in the current 2023 roadmap, but there's something called yard management, if you had heard about it, right? Yard management. So there they want to bring this integration capabilities, but at this stage they still work isolated, but they want to bring this in the yard management 2024 ending or 2025. You could expect this all to power up to bring those integration capabilities additionally, but that's the roadmap. Funny to just get your question answered.
So at any point, PPDS is having any integration with EWM?
At now, it is, as I said, it's isolated.
It's isolated. Meaning the process-wise also would there be, because because the execution part, during execution we do staging, and staging means it's connecting with the EWM going forward. So PPDS doesn't involve in any type of staging or any EWM process, right? So PPDS is only looking after the resource planning, and providing the production orders, and that's it. There itself it ends. Is
Correct.
that what PPDS process? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Correct. But there's something called yard management which wants to get this integration capabilities of both PPDS and EWM and AATP. So that's the place where you will see some new things coming up, new things budding up there. So for that,
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Raghu, one question, like one more time, like I'm asking too many questions. Like, if the client want to ask, like, if the same question to you, like, why I want to implement PPDS, not at a generic level. If someone asks you, like, why, if I want to learn PPDS, even if I know the planning, generally, like, what will happen? If I learn MRP live, that's enough. Like, why I want to go for PPDS, even if I do not have capacities and all those constraints, then how? Like, if the same question would be coming from client also, that's the reason I'm just I was curious about this question
No problem.
to
No
ask.
problem. I can understand. So let's say your client, if you have to give it as a something like black and white answer, right? Like yes or no, right? So in that case, I'm just telling you in that way to make it little short also our discussion. So if the client says, "Hey Raghu, I have infinite scheduling. I mean, I do not really bother about my capacity planning, Raghu. So I'm quite fine with any given day. You give me a demand, and I have a plan to make it, and I never bother about the capacity constraints, Raghu. So I will not say him, please go for EPPDS, right? To be transparent. He doesn't need to achieve it through EPPDS. Normal production planning will still suffice him. Okay.
Okay, so it's only the capacities which we'll do here.
Not just capacities, but as I mentioned you, like what is a major essential reason, right? Of
Oh,
course, we have made a Jordan list of 10 different things, no
yeah,
doubt.
yeah, yeah. I got it.
So, but if you say majorly on what basis do you want to me to consider? So I would say
Okay,
this is the one important, right?
okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you all.
question, Raghu.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, right, I'm hearing that SAP has some still issues with the MD01N MRP Live and not stable from planning perspective. So if I maintain my materials as XO and active for PPDS, for example, in advanced planning, do you suggest me to run the planning on the PPDS side without MD01N, or